Whereas you find with some of the Muslims today, we have extremes in both schools of Islam, I tell you. And anytime you see extreme in any school of Islam, know that disunity is a virus in our community. For example, us, the followers of Ahlul Bayt, we have a couple of Maulanas on YouTube. They're from our school. They wear the turbans. One wears a white turban, the other wears a black turban. You find them on YouTube attacking the companions of Rasulullah publicly, cursing with the filthiest language. And the problem is, when a person looks at this on YouTube, he doesn't know the difference between who's really a scholar and who's not. You look and all you see is someone who looks like a Maulana or a teacher or a scholar of the school of Ahlul Bayt, giving the filthiest language, with the filthiest rhetoric. Sayyid Ali Khamenei spoke out against them. Sayyid Ali Sistani spoke out against them. Did they listen? No. They come back and reply, if our marja speaks out, we will stop. But considering our marja and Qom hasn't spoken out, we'll continue with this filthy language. I tell you, is this what the school of Ahlul Bayt wanted? This what the school of Ahlul Bayt wanted? That we have people who come and sit on the minbar to attack the companions of Rasulullah? If you have an issue with the companions of Rasulullah, bring your proof. Say that I have issue X, issue Y, issue Z. Have respect for the feelings of your fellow Muslim. Unity does not mean I compromise my belief. Unity means I am tolerant of the beliefs of others. And the problem in our communities is when there's Maulanas who sit on this minbar and their lectures are available, and you find that instead of people speaking out against them, but you know, he's a Maulana and I can't really say anything. The moment you see a Maulana sit on the minbar of Al Muhammad who's causing disunity between Muslims, pull him off. Pull him off. Don't let a person like this stay. Do you know how many lives we lost in Pakistan because of Maulanas who would come and speak filthily about others, and people innocently got killed? The best doctors of the community got killed. The best intellectuals got killed. Why? Because that person doesn't think of the Muslim Ummah. He thinks of himself. Am I entertaining my crowd? Are they showing me entertainment back? Then yes, then I'll continue. Think about those brothers in Saudi Arabia who don't know how to get home because of your lecture. Think of those brothers in Pakistan who get beheaded because of your lecture. When Ali ibn Abi Talib brought this message, he said, remove your differences and strengthen your ties. Not strengthen your differences and remove your ties. Ali ibn Abi Talib is dying. And he's saying, remove your differences and strengthen your ties as Muslims. And we have people who claim to be followers of Al Muhammad. And I tell you, it's not just that the problem. You find amongst the Shia today, people who isolate members of our community, saying that these members of our community should be banned from speaking in our mosques, should be banned from lecturing in our mosques. You find people who come and have isolated many scholars, not just now, over the last 10 years, over the last 20 years. People who were scholars in our communities were isolated. Why? Because on hearsay, we heard that they should be banned from our communities. On hearsay. The problem is, if we don't remove our differences and we don't strengthen our ties, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is we're going to be a disunited force, and a force should not be called a force when it's disunited. You found Amir al-Mu'mineen was only Khalifa for 4 years. 4 years, that's it. 4 years and 7 months, let's say. In those 4 years and 7 months, Ali ibn Abi Talib, 3 civil wars he faced. Do you think he faced wars from the non-Muslims? Wallah, the non-Muslims were good to Ali ibn Abi Talib, I tell you. It was the Muslims who fought Ali ibn Abi Talib. And every time they fought him, Ali ibn Abi Talib tried to find a way of finding peace between them, I tell you. And some of these people who fought him, some of them, not all, some of them, wallah, they had given nothing to this religion. As in, for example, if you were to look, let's say, at the Battle of Jamal. At the Battle of Jamal, Ali ibn Abi Talib comes to the front of the battle, and he looks at the wife of Rasulullah, and he looks at Talha, and he looks at Zubair. He says, Zubair, aren't you my cousin? Zubair is Ali ibn Abi Talib's first cousin, because Ali ibn Abi Talib's auntie is Zubair's mother. Zubair, aren't you my cousin? As in, aren't we meant to be blood brothers? If not blood brothers, aren't we in the same religion? What are you doing raising a sword like this? Don't you remember when Rasulullah said, there'll be a day when you raise your sword? You find that Zubair realized this. He turned around to run away and someone shot him with an arrow. When he told Talha, he said, Talha, aren't you my brother in Islam? You've come here to fight? He says, you're the killer of Uthman. We have to kill you as well. Ali ibn Abi Talib is the killer of Uthman. Ali ibn Abi Talib said Hassan and Hussein to protect Uthman. Yet you find when the envy is there, what can you do? He tells Aisha, O wife of Rasulullah, didn't the Prophet say to you to stay in your houses? Aren't you meant to be the wife of the Prophet? Aren't you meant to set an example? You've come here to lead an army with this many men? She said, you're the killer of Uthman and we will kill you today. And you know how much respect he showed her? Wallah, in the battle and outside of the battle. This man was a man of nobility. The human being didn't understand Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ali ibn Abi Talib, do you know what he said to Malik al-Ashtar? He said, Malik, you see her sitting in her carriage on the camel? He said, yes. He said, take your sword and cut the feet of the camel. Then he turned around to another companion. He said, you, when she falls, I want you to hold her body. Malik al-Ashtar went, he cut the feet of the camel, the carriage fell, Aisha fell from the carriage, the other companion held her body. She turned round and she said, how dare you touch the body of the wife of Rasulullah when you are not mahram to me? The reply was an unbelievable reply. He said to her, Aisha, it is your brother Muhammad, the son of Abu Bakr, who's holding your body. The only person in Ali ibn Abi Talib's army who was mahram to her was the person he sent to hold her body.